Hey, it's your boy Trey, and here's another episode of Trey Chicago Sports Talk. This is my co-host John, and we have our special guest today, Ken. Ken, you ready to talk some basketball?
Yeah, that sounds good, Claire.
First, we're gonna talk about the Knicks game and what you thought about it. The first Knicks game on Sunday. What'd you think about it, Ken?
I thought it was awesome. I mean, basketball season's starting to wind down, and every game's been pretty good. That whole Chicago game was phenomenal, though.
What was your opinion on it, John?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Ken. Bulls had a tough schedule this week, as we know, like you said, facing the Knicks back-to-back, and then running it out with the Heat. We just want to shoot a couple more questions to you, Ken. The first one, I'm going to let Clarence take it.
Do you think the Bulls will hold on to the first seed, Ken?
Yeah, definitely. They already got to the number one seed. Right now, it's an easier part of their schedule. They get to play easier teams, so they have no problem coasting through those games.
Yeah.
I agree with you totally, Ken.
Agree. The next question, Ken, if they do hold on to that spot, do you think it'll be a rematch in the Eastern Conference against the Bulls and the Heat? Do you think the Bulls can hold on?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think it is going to be a rematch of the Bulls and Heat. At least in the East, out west, there's a couple teams that can compete, but out East, the two strongest teams are Bulls and Heat. If they do play again, I think the Bulls are the stronger team this year. Overall, they have the better team. I think starting-wise, Heat have the better starters, but overall, Bulls have the better team.
Yeah.
So we'll come down to the 7-game series, and I think Chicago will win.
Yeah.
We have a better bench.
Yeah, I think
better
that
bench.
Right. I think the nod will be, the Bulls bench. I think the starting five for Miami might cause a few matchups, but like Trey said, in the end, I think it's the bench that'll prevail.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it with that. Rose did play in that game, but he barely contributed, only 2 points. He's still injured. And our bench just stepped it up big time. TJ Watson looked like a prime-time starter.
Yeah.
And Ashton played well, and Kyle Korver hit some big shots. And Azik had some nice blocks that really changed the game. But TJ Watson just played lights out in that game, so
yeah.
I think the Bulls will show you that they're the better team. They just play good basketball. They're a disciplined team, and Coach Tibbs is handling them well. So
yeah.
I could definitely see the Bulls making it to the finals this year.
Thibodeau really did a risk by keeping the bench in the whole fourth quarter, didn't he, Ken?
Oh, yeah. He made a difficult decision. Anytime you have a player like Derek Rose on your team, typically you start him, but he made a difficult decision, and he chose later on in the game to sit Rose because, he wasn't feeling it that night, and the rest of the team was playing well. So it was a good decision by Coach Tibbs, and anything he's done so far with the Bulls has been a positive.
Yeah.
That's why he's coach of the year, man.
And we've never looked better.
Okay, yeah. I think you're absolutely correct.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's now back-to-back seasons. The Bulls have been the best team in the East, so can't argue with that.
Can't argue with it at all.
No. Okay.
So, out west, are you still buying into the Thunder, or are the aging Spurs, or maybe another team?
I really love the Lakers. Love the Lakers.
The Lakers, yeah. The Lakers look pretty good. I don't know if you think out west yet. I think there's still a number of teams that can make a run at it.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right out west. The West, I think, is going to be tough. Like you said, you can't count the Spurs out. Oklahoma City is doing a wonderful job. There's a couple surprising teams out there to me, like the Clippers. You don't want to let them get deep in the playoffs because they could be trouble for you as well.
Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking at the standings. You got
Yeah. The standings is
All those teams can play good basketball, so.
Yeah.
It should be exciting. What do you think about that Blake Griffin missing the dunk?
You mean last night?
Yeah.
I was surprised because he normally makes that stuff. He makes all the highlight films on SportsCenter and everything.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, he don't miss too many.
In sports, right? Anything new?
Repeat that question one more time.
What else is going on in sports?
Baseball, everything.
Yeah, baseball's been interesting. The Cubs couldn't seem to win a game a couple weeks ago. Just beat the Cardinals 9-5 yesterday. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
Football's been kind of quiet lately. Oh wait, no, I take that back. I want to get your thoughts on Demarius Thomas and what he said on Tim Tebow. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I did hear about it. That was really bad because he showed him no respect and no love. That's why Tebow's gonna take over in New York, man. That's why Tebow's gonna take over.
I think that's ridiculous. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
here's this guy that has been just a bust his whole career until, in the playoffs, he had that one really nice catch that won them the game over the Steelers, just talking crap about a guy who's just really done nothing but accept his role and do the best he can. So I like Tebow and I hope he does well. But those comments to Demarius Thomas made are just, they're nasty.
My co-host here hates Tebow, man. So
Well, I'm not gonna say I hate him as a person. I think he stands for good. My point to him is on the field. I think he's a much overrated quarterback. I think this is going to be his last couple years in the league, and then people will finally see.
Hater.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you don't give a backup that kind of introduction to a team. He's not even starting. And I think he won't start over. And I don't think he's going to beat Sanchez out for the starting lineup either.
Well, yeah, I don't think he's the best quarterback in the world.
Right.
He can at least 15 ahead of him, but he's a good guy, and I just don't appreciate when guys talk smack like that.
Right.
In basketball, it's really at its highest right now. I think the Bulls are definitely a great team, and I don't see a team that's even close. And I'm talking overall. I don't think there's...
Ken, we gotta wrap it up, man. We gotta wrap it up.
Yep. Okay, Ken. It was good having you on.
Hope to have you on again, man.
I appreciate it, Trey. Take it easy.
See you Monday.
Yeah, definitely. See ya.
All right. All right. That was Ken. When we come back, just to wrap up the final scores from the Bulls from the week, they finish out the Knicks 98-86 in that second game, and then Thursday they beat the Miami Heat 96-86, which was a very good game.
Yes, it really was.
Okay. So when we come back, what we're going to get into, Trey?
A little bit of Cubs and White Sox, a little baseball in Chicago. Hey, Cubs fans, we're going to talk a little Cubs baseball. We had a little struggle to the opening week, but we came on strong. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right, Trey. Cubs started out a little sluggish early on in the week, where they started out the week against finishing up the series against the Washington Nationals. And then they just rolled right on into Monday to pick up that heated rivalry against that
Brew Crew.
Against the Brewers. Prince is no longer there, but they still had a good showing with Weeks and
Ryan Braun.
and all the other guys. Unfortunately, the Cubs lost that game 7-5. That was the first game, and then the second game, wasn't too well at all either. The Cubs took another loss, 7-4. You surprised about that loss too?
I'm really not, because they have a lot of power over there on the group, and Dale Swain was the person last year. He really knows that group well, but we just don't have the offensive talent so far to get in there with the Brew Crew.
Yeah.
The Brew Crew is really good.
Yeah, they are. Even though they lost Prince, they still managing to keep these wins coming. So on Wednesday, they came back, and unfortunately, the Cubs lost again. 2-1. But on Thursday,
big 8-0.
They bought the bats out on the north side, and we came, like you said, 8-0 win.
Matt Garza,
and that started our road back at the end of the week.
Yep.
To go on against another heated rivalry, the St. Louis Cardinals.
The biggest rival in baseball.
Yeah. Opening up their season at home against the Cardinals.
9-5 win for the Cubs. Jeff Samardzija really did his thing.
Yep. And also Brian LaHare in that game hit his first ever career grand slam. They took the bats down to the Loop. Yeah, that's right. So what about the Sox, man? What are the Sox doing?
The Sox been really good.
Yeah.
Sunday they lost to Texas though.
Yeah.
5-0.
That's right.
But then they came back against Cleveland 4-2 behind the pitching of Chris Sale.
Yeah, Big Sale looked good in that game. He's looking like a real ace right now.
He's looking like the ace of the team.
Yeah, he's looking like that ace. Even though Cleveland, I think, is going to struggle still this year. They're in that position where they gave up them bats a few years ago, to try to get pitching. Yeah.
Grady Sizemore was still out there with his injury. Travis Hassner is not what he used to be because he has that elbow problem.
Yeah. Well, that's the Cleveland Rocks right there.
Cleveland Rockers.
Yeah. Then Tuesday, unfortunately, the game was postponed because of the weather up there in Cleveland. Then Wednesday, the Sox just let it all out with a big 10-6 win.
10-6.
Yeah, it was a big win. Like I said, they had a lot of hits. Paulie Konerko, I think, got off the schneid with a homer in that game as well, I think.
Adam Dunn is really improving too.
And then they closed out the week with a win over the Detroit Tigers, where Prince is now in. I'm gonna say it. Detroit's the best team in baseball. What do you think?
No. Cardinals.
The Cardinals, with losing Pujols is the. You think?
But they have David Freese.
Yeah.
They have a Kyle. Man.
Yeah, I still don't think.
And the pitchers, Carpenter.
Yeah. I don't know. I still don't think they got enough. I think the Tigers are going to do big things. The Sox are going to be in for a big run if they want to have to even compete to just stay out of last place, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, but, So what's on tap next, Trey? What's on tap?
Coming up next, it's a little bit of football talk. A little bit Bears. Just a little bit of Bears because the draft is in 2 weeks, so we don't know what they're going to do in that yet. We'll have that coming up for you next.
All right.
Welcome back, Bears fans. We're going to talk a little Bears talk. The Bears signed Lance Briggs this week to a 1-year contract. What you think about that, John?
Yeah, the Bears signed him to an addition to pick up that option in that next season. That'll take him to 2014. So they're trying to line all the ducks up in line and get everybody set. A couple other additions. They signed Eric Williams and Devin Thomas, are both kick returners. To kind of help Devin back there in the backfield. But unfortunately, still no Matt Forte. What's your take on that?
No Matty Ice, man. They should pay the man. Pay the man.
Yeah. So do you think that Lance Briggs signing? Think that's a slap in the face, or do you think that's we're gonna save Forte for last? And
that's a slap in the face because you're gonna get an old guy, a piece of a check, and you ain't gonna give me nothing but a franchise tag. What? That's so wrong. It's so many lines.
I don't know, Trey. I think it's not necessarily wrong. I think the thing is, they have to get the defense, which is the stable of the team, signed and get them in. Urlacher has a contract coming up at the end of this season. I think they're going to get him signed, but he's probably going to be willing to take less money so they can get a Forte.
That's what I'm saying. This is his 12th season. I mean, Forte only had 4 seasons.
But see, when you look at it, how many times has Forte been to the Pro Bowl? And how many times has Lance Briggs been?
He's been,
like 7 times.
7, 8 times.
Right. So, I mean,
Matty
him being old is not
right?
being one with some stuff happening. So that's what you got to look at. You got to get
the shelf life for a running back is not that long anyway. The shelf life.
Yeah, but I think I think they're going in the right direction as long as they get him signed before the season. You think he's going to hold out? I think Forte's going to hold out.
I hope so. I hope he
you
does.
say you hope so?
I hope he does to show the Bears a lesson, because without him, they can't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think they can do stuff now. They're actually making strides to do something. They went out and got, like I said, Brandon Marshall. They went out and then got that
the running back.
Running back. So,
Mike Bush.
So I think it's in his best interest not to hold out because of what the goal is in that Super Bowl here.
Super Bowl or bust, baby.
Right. So that's what it's about. You want to cover a little hockey before we get to the break?
A little bit of hockey, though.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Blackhawks lost 3-2 down in Phoenix, down in the desert, 3-2. But the good news is Jonathan Taves came back from his concussion after 2 months of being sidelined.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, the Blackhawks win tonight, Saturday night, 9 o'clock on Comcast Sportsnet. So be watching, Blackhawks fans.
Yeah, and it's just game one. It's tough to open up on the road. It's like I say, it's game one. All they got to do is steal one and come back home. So that's how I look at it. That's my take on it.
It's the same thing, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what we're gonna get to when we come back on the other side of the break, there, Trey.
On the other side of this break, we gonna get into some little golf and Bubba Watson.
Okay.
If you get it. Welcome back. We're gonna talk a little Masters. Bubba Watson won his first green jacket. He was very emotional. I just want to send out a good congratulations to him. Congratulations, Bubba.
Way to go, Bubba.
Way to go, Bubba. And other news, other basketball news.
All right.
It seems like Lamar Odom and Dallas parted ways this past week.
Yeah.
What you think about that, John?
It wasn't surprising at all. You can tell he didn't want to be there. But the thing is, I don't think he took it, as a good professional. I think he should have stayed there and helped the team as much as he can.
But Khloe Kardashian had some problems because they missed their show and stuff.
Well, one thing you have to look at it is the reason why they have the show is because of him playing in the league. And if you continue on like this, they won't have the show to worry about because he won't be in the league.
Plus, this is his 13th year in the league.
Yeah, so that's tough, but good luck to him because I really like Lamar.
Love Lamar, man.
Yeah, really love Lamar.
Straight New York all the way.
What we're gonna get into next is a little local Chicago kid out of your alma mater.
Out of my alma mater, love this kid, Jabari Parker. He got the #1 high school player in the nation this week. I'm extremely proud, being that I saw him when he was a freshman at Simeon Career Academy, home of Derrick Rose as well. Shout out to Derrick Rose. Alonzo Mourning presenting him with the award on the special ceremony. So shout out to Alonzo for coming to little old Simeon.
Yeah, and also he has a good chance of winning this next year. By this kid only being a junior, he's going to be a phenomenal. Hopefully, if you hit us up, Jabari, and you look at us on YouTube, correct, that you will pick the University of Illinois and stay at home and give us something to root for there as well.
Or my favorite Duke, either pick Duke as well. Krzyzewski, all the way.
Yeah, he got enough players. Let's keep our homegrown here in Illinois. All right, what we're gonna get into next?
A little bit of Ozzie Guillen controversy.
Yeah, I think we're gonna talk a little Ozzie later, but now let's get into a little more football here and see what's going on here with this football. What's going on in New Orleans down there in the home of the
Mardi Gras,
Bounty Land?
Joe Vick and Sean Payton and Greg Williams got their things, got their suspensions denied.
Yeah, I mean, you had to know that was coming. A slap on the wrist wasn't just gonna work here. It just wasn't gonna happen.
Especially Greg Williams. I mean, come on,
it wasn't gonna happen. And with Sean Payton as well, because like we said in previous week, is that he knew that this was going on, and
he knew this was a lie.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't stop.
Personally, love Shiny, man.
Yeah, love Sean. You know, he's a Chicagoan guy, and you know we love.
He's from here too.
Yeah, we
grew up here.
We love to root for him, but you know, you knew this was coming. So,
but Joe Vitt's going to be the interim head coach.
Yeah,
even though he's going to be out the first 6 games of the season, so the offensive coordinator is going to take over for the first 6 games.
Yeah,
we thought it was going to be Bill Parcells, but he declined because he wants to make it into the Hall of Fame.
And what do you think on that? You think that's a good thing that Bill did, or what?
I think that's kind of selfish. I think that's
selfish.
Yes, I think it's selfish because at first he said he was going to do anything to help out a friend. Then you gonna stab him in the back when you say you don't know.
So you think turn him down was a stab in the back?
Yes, that was stab in the back. Because you came to meet with them, and then why meet with them if you knew what you was gonna do?
Well, I think he was lending his moral support. I think he did the right thing by staying away from that. You don't want to have nothing to do with something that's bad to tarnish your image. So I think he stayed away. Anything to help him personally, but
the moral support isn't going to help them win games.
No, but it'll help him, though. See, it'll help Sean get through what he's going through. And he's a friend of Sean's, not a friend of the New Orleans Saints. So.
I guess you're right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, that's, it just is what it is. So, when we come back, what we're going to get into next, Trey?
A little bit of Ozzy.
Now we're going to talk a little bit about that 5-plug Ozzy down there in Miami, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Welcome back, fans. We're going to talk about our former manager, Ozzy again.
Yeah. Ozzy, in the news, as everybody knows, over some comments he made about the Cuban dictator, Fidel Castro. That's a tough situation down there in Miami, when there's a lot of Cuban Americans. So give us your light on it. What do you think about it?
Personally, I love Ozzy again. Yeah. And by suspending him, you gonna violate his freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. That's taking away his amendment. Mm-hmm. You might as well just lock him up or something. Mm-hmm. If you gonna take his baseball away, you might as well lock him up.
Yeah, like I said, that's a tough situation. You don't want to step on nobody's toes and have that tension and animosity down there. Now, one interesting thing I thought of last night is that I was watching the game on ESPN and they said hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of seats was empty. You got to think that might have a reason on it. So, I mean, with the ballpark being in Little Havana, that's very tough.
Hey, but he did do his apology Tuesday, and he seemed really contrite about things. Yeah. So I really think they're gonna give him a second chance, and things are gonna blow over really quick.
Yeah. I mean, on ESPN earlier it was stated, that he should have got more games. I personally think it should have been more games. But the one thing I is kind of interesting is,
are you kidding?
No, seriously, I think it should have been more games. I think, I think if it would have been another colored person or non-colored, I think they would have got more games. But because it's him, I think they gave him a little slap on the wrist.
But Ozzy is Ozzy. I mean, come on, man. Yeah. He's been this way for the past 25 years for the White Sox organization.
Yeah, and he said some comments there too, as as well. But like I say, I love Ozzy to death. And that's a tough situation. I just hope both sides down there is good.
Love Ozzy, man. Yep. Still wish he was here.
Okay. Man. All right. So what we got coming up next, Trey?
Next, we're gonna talk about the controversial Skip Bayless. Mm-hmm. We have two different views on Skip Bayless, but we gonna get that jam packed in here.
Yeah. Trey's Corner next.
Welcome back. This is now Trey's Corner, but this week we're gonna do it a little differently. Mm-hmm. We're gonna do a little talk on Skip Bayless, the best journalist around.
Yeah, we're going to bring you guys up to speed real quick. It's a hot topic, trending on everything, Twitter,
since
YouTube, and everything else. Skip Bayless and Jalen Rose got into it earlier this week. Jalen Rose called him out, about his high school career and him being a state all-star or whatever, which come to find out that
wasn't true.
Which wasn't true. So, And then him and Jalen went right in. What do you think on that? Yeah, what do you think on that?
I really think Jalen needs to fall back and be concerned about his own broadcasting career instead of worrying about other people. The reason he's not in the NBA now is because he was horrible with the Chicago Bulls and horrible with the Toronto Raptors. He was only good for like 3 to 4 seasons with the Pacers, and then we got him in 2002. Their dirty laundry, we got their dirty laundry, and then he was bad ever since. Kobe scored 81 of them, so he has to worry about himself instead of diving into other people.
Well, I mean, you know, that's a tough thing because we all know Skip was an NBA All-Star as well, right?
No, he was not.
Okay, then.
He's been in this.
Let's just be real about it. You know, Skip lied. I mean, he lied to the people that's following him. Jalen never lied to no fans or anything that's following him. He never said, I'm going to go out and score 81 on Kobe and didn't do it. But this man, you tune into him every day, you know, sucks for the ones that do, but
I do every day. Trust me. I'm still a Skip person to the end, baby.
And he lied. And you know, one thing, that Jalen focused in on, is when he called people's out of names.
You mean by Bosh Spice?
Yeah, he calling that man a woman. Bosh Spice, if I last corrected, is a woman.
But sometimes Chris Bosh play like a woman. I mean, it's just honestly. Well, sometimes Chris Bosh plays like a woman.
Well, that still don't give him the right to call him a woman. Hey, I mean, he should be respectful, and especially after Chris came on and asked him not to call him.
Why should he give a cat at all what Chris Bosh wants him to do? I mean, why should he give a cat at all?
Well, I mean, I think if someone was to come on there and you call him out of his name, Chris Bosh never went back at him and said anything about him. Calling him out of his name. You know what I'm saying?
But in the privacy of my own home, I've called him Bosh Spice before. If he told me to stop calling him that in the privacy of my own home, I would not.
Well, I mean, that's the difference. That's the privacy of your own home. No one hears that. I mean, but the forum that Skip has, millions and millions of people sees it. And
but that's his house. Yeah. That show is his house. That's his show. He makes the show. So what he says in his domain,
right,
is what he wants to say.
Right.
But Chris Bosh doesn't take care of his domain. He plays like a little girl sometimes. And he cries in the locker room, wee.
Right. But I mean, like I said, and we're gonna move on to other stuff that he said. I just think he was wrong for calling that man a woman. And some other things that Skip said, kind of had me rattled. Like he said that all NBA all pro players stick together. Which they do. But in the sense that Jalen could have told him, all reporters stick together.
That's not true because some reporters don't like Skip. Skip has a controversial way of reporting. But you have to look at his resume. If you look at Skip Bayless's resume, it's a mile long. He worked in every newspaper or television show known to man. He actually worked in the Tribune in the 90s, the Dallas paper in the 80s, and right now he works on ESPN, the world largest leader in sports. So I think that resume is pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt. His resume is good. But I mean, for him to say that all sports guys stick together is just absurd. No, it's just absurd because just because I play ball, yeah, you have a brotherhood, but I might not like what Jalen does or how he plays. He's gonna have his naysayers as well.
I didn't like the way Jalen played. Even though Jalen Rose was nice to me, he's a nice person in real life. But on the sports broadcasting, he has no idea.
Well,
he has
no
idea.
Now I beg to differ because even though he played basketball, he's covered boxing. Like you said, he's never boxed, but he's covered boxing. And see, what Skip said was, I think what made him and Stephen A. mad was that, Jalen put it out there and told him, anybody who talk has an opinion. And that's basically, when you boil it down, that's a reporter. A person with an opinion.
But
a person who plays got to have a little more than just knowing of the game. They got to have a little athletic ability as well.
So you saying Kwame Brown could actually report on things that Skip Bayless can do? No.
Well, we don't know that because we haven't seen Kwame report. So that's unfair to throw Kwame out there and say he can report because we haven't did that. Because you want to know why he haven't did that?
He's still in the NBA.
He's still playing.
But he's one of the worst.
Well,
and I quote, one of the worst NBA players that I've ever seen. And by the way, he is the worst #1 draft pick in history. Michael Jordan, one of the worst draft picks he's ever made. He's made some bad ones, but that one.
And I think you just answered your question because what everybody put on him is that one of the greatest athletes of all time gave him the stamp of approval, and he never met that. So that's hard.
The greatest.
It's hard. So you can't say that he's the worst draft pick when Michael Jordan. He's not going to live up to everybody's expectation of what Michael Jordan thinks he is. So it's kind of that's the kind of.
He's been in this league since 2001, man.
Yeah, he's still in the league.
5 points a game.
He's still in the league, and also it's like Jalen said, somebody is paying him millions. Somebody who has billions is paying him millions to play. So I don't think they're going to waste money and pay him if they don't think he can play.
They wasted money before in the NBA.
I mean,
it's just another wasted dollar on the dollar sign.
No, I think it's I totally disagree with that. I think there's a lot of young guys coming out who they can take chances with, but they want to take chances with him. But along with the boys, they take chances with Scalabrine.
But Scalabrine has got one thing that Kwame doesn't have. He has that ring.
That he contributed what to?
He played some games.
That he
has a ring. Kwame Brown has nothing.
No, he don't have a ring because he wasn't lucky to land with a team like Boston to do that. But if you take
2008 ring, baby,
right.
Thibodeau has one too.
Right, but if you take him away from that and put Kwame on that, Kwame have a ring as well. So it's not about the personal individuals. Like I always tell you, you win championships by team. So just because Kwame don't have one, he wasn't fortunate to become on the team like that.
He's just not very good.
Well, yeah, he's not that good. Along with Skip Bayless. And you can wrap it up because Skip is not that good. I hope I meet you in Skip is because it's that's a 9.
That's a 10, that's a 11, that's a 12.
Stephen A, you let me down, boy. You let me down.
Stephen A is great.
You let me down, Steve.
But there's reporters like Michael Wilbon on the other hand. And
Steve, you let me down.
Steve didn't let nobody down. He stood up for his boy.
You let me down, Steve.
He stood up for his boy. Stephen A is a real man.
You let me down, Steve.
No way, man.
You let me down.
No way, no way, no way, no way.
I better not see you on the street, these. That's a 9.
That's a 10, that's a 11, that's a 12.
But on the other news, because we like you, Steve. I still respect you, Steve.
But you said you would never watch him again.
Don't let me ever see
you. Said you would never watch him again.
Yeah, I won't watch him or either one of them again. I won't watch First Take ESPN again. Somebody got a birthday coming up, right?
Luau Dang has a birthday coming up Monday, April the 16th. Big shout out to Lou. Lieutenant Dangerous Dang.
That's right. Happy birthday, Lou.
Happy birthday. Tell I said hi by the way too.
All right. So we come back. It's time for you to wrap it up, right?
We're gonna wrap this sucker up.
Right.
Hope we entertained you today, especially with that Trey's Corner talking about Skip Bayless. I really like to thank my co-host John. Really hope you guys watch next week. We're going to have more debates like that if Skip keeps bringing us good news. So in the meantime, send in your letters, your comments, and your questions in that time.